Hi everybody. Let me say hi to everyone. Do I have my mic on? Hi. Me too said how much you want to bet Namjoon dropped his phone in the toilet. That is disgusting. But I can't say it hasn't happened to me. Hi Elizabeth. Hi Lucy. Z. Kathleen, Borowinkle, Lorena, Dawn Marie, Tisa, Marie Miller, Darren, Lucy in the Sky, MJD, Leah. Do you think BTS came out? Susie is asking. Do you think BTS came to the USA so that they can skip the drama, all the drama at HYBE? Lucy basically gave the Korean media the finger. Hi, Carol, Jelma, Elizabeth, Melanie, Fire Butterfly, Melva, BNB, Caribbean Lady, Leia OSP, and Summer, HHK, Robin Carr, Disha, Arlise, Reg Pair, Carol, Me Too, Beth Davidson, BTS 7 plus 1, Lorena, LA Reina, um, Lucy in the Sky, Mary Jane, Carol, Lakeisha, Dodger Girl is on Twitch. Nil Vanil, Clara, hi. Clara is on X. Carmi EG, Mary Jane, Me Too, MLB Z, Norm Roy, Cest 104. Hi, nice to see you too. Well, I can't exactly see you, but it's good that you're here. Marilyn, Wonder Human, BTS 7 plus 1, Norm Ray, Team Messi, Pinayon Say, will Namjoon lose his fans for it again? Don't worry, I'm here in LA. I'll find it for him. Dang, Tanim, just saw as he doesn't lose it like in Vegas or something. Dang, Tanimen, Z, Marian, Terhin, 0365. Rose, Shaya, Kugi, Lindsay, Raquel, Gemini, Lily, Doll Baby, Robin Carr, Jane. My dog wants to say hi. Okay, baby, wait. Elizabeth, Cest, Sugar D. Come here. Come on. He's not feeling well. Yesterday, come on. He has not had anything to eat since yesterday, which is kind of normal when he's not feeling well. So I'm not really afraid. I'm not really like nervous. But I'm gonna cook his favorite food after this live stream. Hopefully that's gonna make him want to eat. We're not exactly sure what went wrong, but my guess is that so he has a very, very sensitive tummy. And the other day, he really wanted to have some of our food, like human food, which I don't usually feed him human food. But the over the long weekend, he was just like the entire weekend, I think he was just really begging to get some of our chicken. And so I gave him some, and now look at what happened. He's not feeling well. So he's been going to the bathroom a lot in the last 2 days. And then today, my mom said, because I had to go to work today, my mom said that he didn't poop when she took him out for a walk morning and just before I arrived, which was around like 4:30 or 5, closer to 5. Okay, so yeah. So but yesterday he did have some food. And then the other day he also had some food. So I'm kind not really that worried yet. So for as long as he has something today, he's been taking in the treats. If I give him some treats, that he will take, but not his regular food. So lesson learned for me. I will not give in to his begging anymore. I really don't feed him a lot of human food. It doesn't happen often. It's just that the entire, because I was home the entire weekend because it's, the holiday here. It's just like I felt so bad for him. So yeah, okay, but not never again. Okay, Cest, Elizabeth, Frances, Apple Bangpo, Fire Butterfly, Salmart, BTS 7+1, Clara. I love Suga's reaction to the press. Nora, Lucy in the Sky, Z, Shaya, hi, Gen C, Me to the River, Win, Deng, JR Traveler, um, Suzy, Bangluna, Nigma Price, BTS Eden, Rose, Bianca, Didi, Ruzika, Alana, uh, Kez, Joe, Futura, Chelsea, Leia, Ross Bob, Cest 104, Janet, Booney, Ramona, Dodger Girl, Elizabeth, Liz, Elaine. Okay, I think that's everybody. Jelma, Bianca, Pinayon, Say Z, Norm, My P, Magandang Umaga, Buni, Jane, Carla Girl, BNB, Debak, everyone saying hi to you. Doll Baby, okay, so I think that's everybody. Jen, hi Jen. His tummy is empty. Yeah, it's still empty, but I'm not forcing him. Usually, when he doesn't want to eat something, it's for a good reason. I've tried forcing him in the past, and I kind of learned that it's either he doesn't want to eat the food just because he knows it's not gonna do him well. His tummy is going to reject it. So I kind of trust him. If he says no to something, like he really doesn't want to, I just don't force it. Um, Elizabeth, Poppy will need therapy. Leah, MLB, Marianne, Lucy in the Sky. Okay, I think that's everybody. Iris, Lara, Carmi, from Cali with Love, Joe, Kay, Beth Davidson, Madeline. Okay, Roxanne. Hi, ate. Hello. Dale Wood, Marie, Bang Luna, Norm Roy, Kim Muning. Nothing to poop. Yeah, nothing to poop for him yet. But I'm gonna roast something for him. There's this. Do you know? It's a well. Anyways, it's like raw food patty. He doesn't like raw food. So if I buy him raw food, I still need to to cook it. But I don't add anything to it. So I'll just roast it after this, after the live stream. Um, please give Debak low fat cottage cheese or pumpkin. Yeah, I have puree. I'll give him some. I don't have low fat cottage cheese for, yeah, unfortunately. Team Messi, hi. Glad I made it to your live crocheting while listening to you. Oh, please teach me how to crochet. Personal space, fire. Okay. Nigma Price, Layla, Diane, the Ras Bob, Apple Bangko, Rona Celine, Rona, I'm Mary. V's back to his whimsical self. Okay, hi everybody. So yeah, he's really not feeling well. When I give him treats, he has those like bully sticks. So that he would take. He would eat those. But anything other than that, he's not taking it yet. But as I've said, he has this, what's the name of the, it's raw food, and then he likes a chicken flavor. But I'll still have to roast it because otherwise he's not gonna eat raw food. So I'll try that and see if he can. I mean, he's hungry by now because the last food he had was, I think last night was his last food, but it was just a bully stick. And then before that, his last full meal was day before, so Saturday night. I took him to the park. Oh, not even. I took him to the oh yeah, yeah. So one I took him to the park. We went home. I made him that patty. He took some of that. Then that was his last food. So okay. My fur baby ate plain Greek yogurt. He kind of likes yogurt. I'll try. That red and flannel gray suit was gorgeous on te. Hi, Cindy. Oh, you know, the I was telling everybody on. I'm wearing a Muse shirt, by the way. This is one of the shirt that I bought when I went to his pop up store, Jimin's pop up store, Muse pop up store in South Korea. So this is one of the shirt that I bought. Okay. Give him unseasoned rice and ground beef. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, like I'm gonna show you some pictures in a bit, but he has no angle. Like if when you're a director and a cinematographer, I'm talking from experiences. I've written several full length films. One of the things that you really try to find is the best angle for a celebrity, for an actor, a singer, or just a celebrity in general, because you always want to make them look their best, right? But and that's not a problem with V. That's a problem when it's all like, for example, if you have a group of people and you're taking a shot of like whatever, a video or whatever, and one's best side is left and then the other is right and whatever, that's a problem. But for V, it's not a problem because any angle is his best angle. He is a photographer's dream. Like you can't go wrong. Only an absolutely stupid photographer will get it wrong for him because he's just yeah, he's just the best. He looks good like no matter where the angle is. He doesn't matter if it's like he's not even aware, he's just gonna look his best. He's just blessed. That's all I can say. Yes, I just got the notification at Layla. Notification for what? Do we have anything new on Weverse? There there's an after party after JIN'S tour in Dallas. Oh, Dallas people. Let's see. Lucky you, Dallas people. Where's my Weverse? Oh, there you go. I haven't even been to the pop-up store here in OC, but I will. Maybe this weekend. Oh, so you have a game night. Okay, let's share the screen. Weverse. Thank you. Okay, you see it? All right, that's it. So Weverse, you are cordially invited to the offline event Run Army Game Night in Dallas. Keep the party going after the concert with fellow armies at a retro arcade. Receive a special gift, participate in a raffle, play hundreds of different retro games, order themed drinks, and continue dancing to Jin and BTS's music all night. We look forward to seeing you. Wow. Oh my God. The winners will be announced via the event entries page. Please. So to participate, if you would like to participate in Run, you have to buy a BTS US membership and there's an application link. So, ooh, okay. Just Dallas. What about New York? Wow, congratulations, Dallas people. Oh my God, you have to go. You have to enter. You can't miss this. You cannot. You cannot miss this. You have to go. Dallas, have you registered? Everybody, Dallas people, you have to register. Oh my God, what if you win? Army can fix Incheon Airport unless the people there are willing to vote for it. If the press and some of the management companies that like to use it for free PR. Yeah, you have to participate. You have to. Oh my god, you can't miss this. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't know if Jin will actually make an appearance, but even if she doesn't, it's just an opportunity to actually. I'm muted. Am I muted? I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Okay. So you have to participate. It doesn't matter if like you just have to participate. Oh my god, even if you don't get to meet Jin, we don't know if he's gonna make an appearance. But even if he doesn't, just to be able to like just have fun and share the space and meet other armies, it'll be great. You have to come on. Just fill up the application form. Go to Weverse. Their very first announcement is about this. Come on. Oh my God. You lucky Dallas people. Name of the person. So go to the application link. Um, okay. Go to the Dallas application. You just go to the Dallas, just go to Weverse and you'll see the application. Oh my God. I'm so excited for you guys. Oh my God. You have to go. Um, what about LA? No, nothing for LA. I hope there's I don't know. There's nothing for LA, no announcement yet. But you have to go. Oh my God. Bang Luna, you have to go. Everybody in the suite, you have to just fill up the application form. Go, 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 go. I'll be back. Okay, Sugar D. Um, but so happy for Dallas. Yeah, I'm so happy for them. They will announce for Anaheim later. I hope so. Maybe for LA as well. I mean, for New York, for New Jersey. Jen needs to go to Disneyland with Army. Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. He should do that in Florida. When he's in Florida. Um, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go, go, go. Miss Kim, you have to go. Bang Luna, you have to go. Are you guys filling up the application now? Fill up the application now. Don't wait. Just fill up now. Oh my gosh, you guys are so lucky. Valid US phone number, state and city of residence, email address. These are what you need. These are the information that you will need to submit an entry. Disney for G. No, someone just said that he should make like just an event. Not in Dallas, but I'll apply. If I win and get more than one ticket, I'll come back and see if someone wants to come with me. That is a good idea. I don't think I can handle something like that. I'm more ready for a meal and bed by that time. Who knows? Jin might appear. Right? Jin might appear. Come on. You have to go, guys. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations to the Dallas people. I hope that you submit an entry. I hope you go in, you get to meet other armies, and you'll just have fun, I'm sure. I mean, this is they're putting it together for a reason. So, I think it'll be good to build and form communities, right? Do you know any suite available for LA? Well, they still are available because I got another phone call. I got a phone call from the sales agent of Honda asking if I'm interested. And of course I said, it was like, you're making it available 2 weeks before the before the event. I said you should have done it like a month before. And they were trying to explain. There was like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. There are available suites. It's just that the one that's kind of worthy to get, it'll cost about, what was how much the it I put the computation on on Patreon, but it's like 700 and something, I think, or it's like expensive. So I was thinking, if I it's 14,000 for 16 people, something like that. So there are still available suites, but I don't think I can gather enough people to be able to pay for the suite, because I need, how much was that? I don't remember how much that was. Let me see. Here. So it's 11,850. Those are the 200. This is for day one. July 17. Wait, maybe I can do this. And then I'll share. Okay, wait. So this is for LA Suite. We haven't even gotten to our topics yet. Okay, 1 second. Here. There. So for this is for LA. So for July 17, this is the suite number. So for it to be worthwhile, you kind of have to be at the 200 level, and it's 11,850 for 14 people. So 14 people divided by, sorry, 11,850 divided by 14. Now there are some that are kind of cheaper. Like there's 20 people for 1400, 14,500. But this is, so you split the money to 14 people, but you need 14 people to actually be able to afford the suite. And I think this would have been okay for me had I not spent all of my money on New York, because I thought I wasn't going to be in the US for when he comes to LA. So, if there is enough, I can pay for mine. So, 11,000 Fire Butterfly, 11,000. It's on the screen right now. So yeah, it's like, imagine 11,850. Can someone divide? I can't divide because DAEBAK is on my lap. So 11,850 divided by 14 people. There is a 1,000 credit for food and beverage, but still, 11,850 for 14 people. That's for day one. If you want to go day two, it's more expensive. It's 13,600 for 14 people. So that's the email that I got from Honda. If it's 11,000 now, imagine what it will be when BTS tours again. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's not gonna be Honda, of course. It's gonna be a stadium. Yeah. So I think it's gonna cost, like, for one seat in a suite, in a decent suite, it'll probably go like 2 grand upwards, north of 2 grand for sure, for each person. Beth Davidson said that will be 846.42 per person. The suite that is worth 11,850. So imagine that amount you're gonna be spending all of that. So I was like really upset because people could have planned, right? If had they released the suite earlier, then people would have planned. I'm sure there are some people that would be willing to spend that much for Jin, but now everyone sort of already bought their tickets. They've already made their arrangements. Some are flying to another city or state, and now they're releasing the suite. So it's I was kind of pissed. So of course it's not the sales agent's fault, I'm sure. But I just told her, I said, you should have done this earlier because now you guys are too late. Some of the suites won't sell. So there you go. That's the answer to your question. Um, I'll just save my money for OD7. Yeah, that's also my thought. Like I already have 2 days in New York. So I paid for my flight, I paid for my hotel, and I paid for 2 tickets. One is a suite. I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I will try to get tickets for LA, but it'll be like ordinary ticket, not a suite one, unless there's enough people, like 40 enough people to pay for this 11,000. But I doubt it. There's like everyone already made their arrangement. That's why LA is sold out. Um, Fair lane. Let's move along now to the topics. We need time to discuss a solution for non-Jews. Okay, let's move along to the topics. What do you want to do first? Let's do news and updates? Do you want news and updates? You know what that is, or do you want to do BTS? Let's do news and updates, huh? Okay, so I just found this. Someone sent this to me on X. This joke. So as you know, he dropped his phone. Someone was making a bet that he actually dropped it inside the toilet. um, and he was like, after Namjoon dropped his phone in water, BTS deployed an emergency response response unit. Yoongi, Jungkook, and Jimin are now en route to LA with rice box with rice box, um, backup chargers, and emotional support. It was so funny. I found someone sent it to me on X. But yeah, so he did announce it when he did his first live that he dropped the phone. My bet was that it was also but he couldn't admit it. So, but that's just a bet. But it was just funny. It was funny how armies were like teasing him, and everyone thought, oh, BTS is finally back because he's destroying things again. This is the BTS that we know. So yeah, my bet is that it was a toilet. I'm not sure. But it was funny. This particular picture, the screen cap, I made that screen cap, and it just so happened that it was that, and like it was like, why are you looking at us as if it was our fault that you dropped your phone inside the toilet? But anyway, I'm sure that the three are going to be are going to be there soon enough. They're going to comfort him and probably accompany him to get a new phone just so he can lose it again. I know he was so annoyed. He was just like, but it felt like he was annoyed at armies. That's how it felt like. Like he was blaming us that he dropped his phone. Okay, now the pool. um, the pool. I was thinking it was the pool. My bet is that it was a toilet. No, it could have been anything. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the bathtub, right? Okay. All right. Next news. Dynamite is almost at 2 billion. So let me just put my dog down. Baby, you want to go down? You're not saying hi to everybody because you're not feeling well. Come on. Do you want to be an emotional support dog for Namjoon? You want to do, huh? Comfort him for destroying his phone. Say bye. Say bye bye. Bye, baby. Say bye. Say bye bye. Say bye. 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 Tell them to wish you well so that you can recover as fast as you can. Okay. Ah, you're heavy. Okay. Okay. I think the both of us are gonna get sick because he's just so heavy. Okay. Oh wait, the camera. All right. Okay. Where were we? Let's go back. Cyber hugs. They want to give you a cyber hug. You want to see here? Go. Okay. So Dynamite is almost at 2 billion in YouTube. So please, if you can, at least once a day, watch it on YouTube. And if you can, do it on different accounts, not just in one account, and in different internet connections. So watch it on your phone when you're somewhere, and then so watch it on your phone when you're somewhere, and then watch it at home, and then when you connect to a Wi-Fi again somewhere else, then watch it again. So we're very close to 2 billion, very very close. I think before the end of the month we'll get there, but only if we start watching Dynamite. Okay, so let's push it to 2 billion. All right. Okay, next is it was fun making clips to tease RM again. Next is Suga. He now surpassed Gangnam Style. So as the most streamed rap, Hegum actually. Hegum has surpassed Gangnam Style in Spotify in terms of streams. So he has surpassed Gangnam Style as he's now, yeah, he surpassed Gangnam Style as the most streamed rap song from South Korea. So congratulations to our August D. But I'm sure he's going to be busy repairing whatever Namjoon already destroyed in LA. And vinyl of RPWP is available. So if you have anything, this is the one thing I don't collect. So I don't have any of their vinyl actually. Should I be collecting? Because I don't have a player, so I don't know what to do with it. But it is available if you want. Go buy it. I think it was just announced today. That is super exciting for Suga. Yes, it is super exciting for Suga. And he deserves it. He deserves it. Okay. And then Jimin is the first act to spend 700 cumulative days at number one on Spotify South Korea's daily top artists. Imagine that. 700 cumulative days. So it's not a streak. It's not one continuous thing. So it's cumulative. So 700, first act in history. Someone took it upon himself to admonish people for teasing RM about his clumsiness. Person, sit down. If we don't, if we don't tease Namjoon, his feelings might get hurt. And of course, Suga, Jimin, and Jungkook left for LA. That was yesterday. They arrived in LA safely. I am assuming, I don't know where they are, but I am assuming that they are wherever they chose to be at this moment. Probably in their accommodations, probably rushing to RM just to help him with his phone situation, or I don't know, maybe to repair whatever he has destroyed. But they left yesterday. They look so good. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Okay. So they also, so this is so Suga and Jimin arrived in the same, using the same car, and then our Jungkook in a separate car. Maybe they came from different locations. I have no idea. Okay, I don't know, but they all look so good. So we still have our CK boy, Valentino boy, and Dior boy. So specifically, Jimin and both Jimin and Suga are actually wearing the collection, the new collection of the brands that they are representing. Valentino for Suga and Dior for Jimin. So this both are new collection. And of course, we have Jungkook in all black, except his nails. So there was a huge debate on whether it was black, or sorry, whether it was blue or purple. I think it was blue. But I don't know. Okay, but they look so good together, the three of them. There you go. It looks blue, right? It looks very, very blue to me. I don't know why people keeps on insisting that it is purple, but to me it looks very blue. I have no doubt about it. Okay, but pretty, pretty and cute nails. I have never, have I ever? I don't think I've ever gotten my nails done because I do a lot with my hands, so I don't usually color them. But this is your emotional support pick of the day. The biceps of J Hope and the face of V. There's nothing better. So this will get you through whatever your life is putting you through. Okay? Look at that face and look at that biceps. Oh my God. J Hope, I have no idea what his problem is, but look at those biceps. He worked hard for it, so we should appreciate it. Okay, this was taken, he's rehearsing, this is J Hope rehearsing for his Lollapalooza gig, and then this is V just existing. This is in natural state. He just looks good. Whenever someone told me that whenever I show Tay, it has to be like focus on his face because he just looks so good. And I disagree because everything in him looks so good. Look at that, right? That he woke up like that, stepped out of the shower like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then Jonathan Anderson, the new creative director for women's and men's wear of Dior, excuse me, posted Jimin wearing his new collection. So if you can please interact with his post. So it was a story. I don't know if it's still there, But if you can please, his Jimin's slide, so it's a story, and his slide is the last one. So Jonathan dot Anderson, that is the handle, the IG handle of the new creative director of Dior, men's and women's wear. So if you can please go to his page, click on the story, and just like. Okay, so I guess he sent Jimin his new collection. All right, and Jimin is the only brand ambassador that he is following as of yet. He probably will follow others eventually, but for now, Jimin is the only one that he is following. So please go to his YouTube, to his IG, Jonathan Anderson, and then watch his story, and then click on Jimin, like the post that he has on Jimin. It is the third slide on his story. Okay, next. This is the most streamed acts in the first half of 2025. BTS 2.23 billion. That is not surprising. Well, it's a little surprising because they've never had, they haven't they haven't actually released anything in 2025, but they still are the most streamed. And as we know, they don't pay for playlisting, nothing like that, not no paid advertising or whatever. So 2.23 billion, BTS is leading, followed by Jennie, 2.06 billion, and Rosé, 1.90 billion. Both released an album this year. And then Stray Kids also released an album this year, 1.70 billion. And then on fifth place is Jungkook, 1.15 billion, and Jimin, 1.10 billion. So neither has released any album this year. Lisa, 985 million, and Hypen, 950 million. And then Le Sserafim, wow, congratulations to Le Sserafim, 890 million. So that's they are on ninth place. I was a little surprised because they were like, wow, you're one of the top ones. Okay. And then 17, 878 million. And then Jin, 811 million, twice, 808. Blackpink, 800 million. J-Hope, 786 million. And aespa, 772 million. So those are the top K-pop acts that made it to the top, the most streamed in Spotify. Jin just made it back to LA. I'm wrong. All seven are not in LA. I think, yeah, I think V is still in Paris, unless he left and we don't know. And then I'm pretty sure that J Hope is still in Korea, and he's going to, maybe soon, he's going to fly to Europe. And then Jin. Okay. Fire Butterfly said he left Paris. Okay, so he's headed in LA already. We'll discuss their song camp in a bit. Okay. So impressive, right? Impressive for Le Seraphim. They're actually in the top 10. Great work for them. And they've worked hard, so they deserve it. Not kind of, but they actually do deserve it. Okay, so update. Oh, hi. Sorry. So this is the update on Jin's tour, the ticket sales of Jin, and this was updated July 7th. So for Anaheim, for LA, it's completely sold out. And then for Dallas, he has a little over 600 left, 600 tickets left. For Tampa, um, he still has 1,331 tickets left. And for NJ, he has about 492 tickets left. So we can, my question now is, do we do, are we going to do a fundraising? I'm guessing closer to the dates they will sell. I hope so. Um, but like, I guess my question is, do we try and do a, like a fundraising there? No, there. Okay, that's a better view. So, can you hear me now? You still can't hear me? Okay. So, yeah, I guess that's just my concern. Um do you think they won't go to Tampa in the future if it does not sell better? I don't think so. As I think the only, this is not bad at all. This is just one member, remember? This is just one member. So even if it sounds like a lot, because it's 1,300 tickets, 1,331 tickets, that's not bad at all. It's not even, so I don't think that's going to affect their decision to go to Tampa or not in the future, because the mere fact that he's almost selling it out will actually is already a good sign. So I guess it's just that we wanted to sell out. We wanted to be totally sold out. We wanted to be like Anaheim, where there's not a single ticket left. That's what we want. So I guess my question is like, can we do a fundraising and then just give it again? The same thing that we did for J Hope, where we gave it to armies that are just down in their luck. They don't have enough money as of the moment to actually watch a concert. Um, Robin Carr, how does that work fundraising? So what we did for J Hope was that we just posted whoever wants to donate money. They send me the money, and then of course I'm as transparent as I could. So I do screen caps whenever I get the money, and then I post it without the information, the personal information of the person who sent the money, and then we just give it. And then I also ask people, armies that are just down on their luck, if they want to watch the concert, and then when we meet the quota enough to buy at least two tickets, then we choose whoever needs it more. That's how it worked for J Hope. So we were able to, for J Hope, I started super late. It was like, I think 10 days before. I started it 10 days before the concert in before the North American tour started. 10 days before. And I think we were able to buy like a good 20 tickets, I would say. So what I would do is just, the only requirement, of course, I cannot force people to post it on their social media, but I do require whoever is going to get the ticket, the free ticket, to send an email just to express their gratitude to the person who donated. So they either, if the donor allows their email to be given to the person who got the ticket, then I will connect them directly. But for those who don't want to be visible at all, they want to remain anonymous totally, then I ask them to send me their like letter, their email thanking the donor, and then I forward that to the person who donated. So that's how it worked. And as I've said, there were like, we got lucky because there was a specific army who donated like four tickets, I think, all in all. So she was just like, okay, here's four tickets, and she just didn't want to. Most of, I think, 90% didn't want. They wanted to remain anonymous. So it wasn't a lot of help. It was just 10, 20 tickets, and I wish I started it earlier. But I just thought, like, at that time there were still some seats left, so I thought, whatever, let's just give it a try. So that's how it worked. I just don't know. I think my only concern is for this one is that um, North American tour is about to start. That's one. Second is that I know a lot of people are trying to save for OT7, especially because they kind of gave us like a target as to when they're going to do the tour and release the album. So people are probably already computing how much it is that they need to save in order to make to stand a chance at actually going to an OT7 concert. That's my only concern. And I'm sure that some people are anticipating that there's something that will happen this December or something. So yeah, Jazzy J. Yeah, and then there's this event in Texas. So we kind of like we I think that's the only thing that's in my mind. Like if we do a fundraising, I don't know. And the fundraising, there's a lot of people who donated like just anything that they can. Like some people donated like $10, $20, and people would think that that's not a lot. It is a lot. Even $5 is a lot because if you pull all of those people that are sending 5, 10, 5, 10, at some point I was able to raise like 2 tickets just from those like 5, 10, 5, 10 donations. So it's not important what the how much the donation is. It's important that we just pull together. And then usually my plan was that if I don't like get enough, I just send the money back if I don't get enough money. And but fortunately I was able to pull like enough money to buy enough tickets. So that's what happened. I have an extra ticket for to Jin. Future's gonna be, is it floor 717? um Future's gonna be okay. Are you in my Patreon? Are you in my Patreon? Future's gonna be okay. Okay. For the Dallas fan event, how do we find out about the application? Go to Weverse and then go to BTS announcements, and then you'll find the link there. How can we send you the money? I give different options. So it's either Zelle, PayPal. I'll make the announcement on Twitter and also on Patreon. So let's see. I don't okay, I'll make the announcement on Twitter and Patreon. I think if there's like the most beneficial would be Tampa or Dallas or New Jersey because they're the ones that are, that don't have that have some tickets left. Okay. Um I filled it out what happens now. You wait. You just wait whether or not you're going to be chosen. That's it. You're just gonna have to wait. Okay, July 11, there's going to be three albums, not albums, but new releases. So, of course, Twice will release their fourth album, a studio album, and then Blackpink will release their single "Jump." I don't know if you've heard the song already. They performed it in their concert, and J Hope was in their concert briefly. So and then 80s will also release an album on the 11th. So it's a big day for K-pop. So yeah. Okay. So I will be, of course, because Twice is my favorite girl group. That's the one I'm more excited for. But there's a lot of people who have been recommending 80s songs to me. I haven't really gotten around listening to them, but I'm gonna try. I did listen to the Jump, the new song of Blackpink, and it's not the usual. It's pop. I think it's okay. It's not a bad song. It's not objectively a bad song. It's just that I think I was kind of like expecting something more considering they haven't released anything in 3 years. And there's only just one song. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe this something's going to be really great. But it's not objectively bad. It's not objectively bad. It's just that I expected something more from them. Extra, John Somi. This is one of the K-pop idols that I feel um like I think she so John Somi released a single. Extra is the title. So if you can go and watch her music video, it would be great. I think I've always like, at first I never understood what was, not what was wrong, but why, like, she's been, she's almost debuted with Twice. She almost debuted with Twice, and she was the last person to get dropped out of Twice. And then she was gonna be in ITZY, um, but something happened, I guess. So, oh, they didn't want to wait. So she didn't want to wait for the debut of ITZY because she felt it will take quite a while. So she decided to leave JYP and then move to the Black Label. And I would say that her first three releases were pretty good. And I thought she was going to be like the next the next um like big solo performer from South Korea. But somehow she just didn't get the consistency that she needed to make it really big. And so now she's kind of stuck in this like limbo where it doesn't feel like she's going anywhere, and she's so talented. If you watch any of her live performances, you will just see just how talented she is. She can sing, she can dance, and she has creatively directed many of her music videos. She has contributed as a songwriter to many of her songs. It's just not clicking. And so my heart goes out to her because I feel like she's being mismanaged. I don't think that she was able to kind of find her bearing, um, even though she has everything that it takes to be a successful solo performer. Okay, so if you can, um, so Somi is very popular with other idols too. Yeah, she's very popular among idols. I think it's just that like the sales, she's yet to do a tour. Yeah, I feel like she should be bigger by now. Okay, Urban Squirrel, I mean, money is not a problem for buying a ticket, but I'm nervous, a solo traveler. You'll meet other armies, don't be nervous, just make a connection. Are you in my Patreon? You can make a connection there. Wherever you're going to go, then just, you know, be a member of that like sub community, and you'll find people to meet. Um, yeah, you will support you. Just decide where you want to go, and you'll be able to meet other armies there. So there is a group in Patreon. There is a Dallas group. There is a New York group, an LA group, and yeah, I think that's it. Dallas, LA, New York. Oh, Europe. So there's an Amsterdam group and London group in Europe. Some people just don't connect in spite of their talent. Yeah, but she should connect. I mean, she's so charismatic. I just feel I don't know if she's not being given the right material, if her branding wasn't like done correctly, but it's just not it, you know. Most of us in LA are watching solo, right? Yeah. Okay. In the J Hope tour, the LA group actually came together, and some of the those who traveled to LA actually like they organized tours. So some people went in, you know, wherever in BT21 stores, some went to the beach. They all went to try different restaurants that BTS frequent when they are in LA. So, you know, okay. And then ILLIT also released their next single, Jealous. They have their official MV. And so 8 hours, 2.2 million. That's actually pretty good. In fact, they actually got into Billboard 200 for the first time. So, as you know, Billboard 200 is US sales. So, Baby Monster and ILLIT are the only two groups that actually made it inside Billboard 200 fifth gen, the only two fifth gen groups that made it to Billboard 200. So Bomb for Isle It, and then Drip for Baby Monster. And then for for both groups, they had 9,000 uh, units sold. So congratulations to the two. Okay. And then I just want to commend Lea Salonga is the first Filipino to get a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. She is the very first. She's the original Kim of Miss Saigon. I don't know if you haven't seen the play. If you haven't, you absolutely should. They are traveling. I think they're still in. I'm not sure if they're still in Broadway, but she was the original Kim. So they're in the very first, it was in West End when they first found her. She auditioned in the Philippines. They couldn't, she was like the very first Kim. And then when they moved to Hollywood, to Broadway in New York, Macintosh, the producer of the show, wanted her. They wanted nobody else but her. Unfortunately, the equity, which is the union of theater actors in Korea, didn't want her to play the role, not because they don't think she's talented, but simply because she's not American. And because they are the union of American actors, this is technicality, and I absolutely understand where they are coming from. So according to their rules, they have to find a Phil-Am at the very least, or an Asian American to play the role. And so, because they have to take care of their own. Again, just want to emphasize, I am not knocking on the equity. I understand where they are coming from, primarily because had it been the Philippines, excuse me, I would, of course, expect the union in the Philippines to prioritize local actors. So I understand where they were coming from. So Macintosh launched an audition, and I think they went through. I can't quite remember if it was like 7,000 or 17,000 applicants, people who auditioned, and they couldn't find a single person who will sound as good as Leia. And so Macintosh threatened the equity and said that if you do not allow me to get Leia to play the role, I'm going to pull out of Broadway. And he was bound to lose like $3 million already, or 13 or something like that, because he's already made some investments. But he said, like, if I'm not going to get what I want, I'm going to leave. And so the equity actually the equity made an exception for Leia. So it was supposedly a one-time thing. So they allowed her to play. All this while, I think it went on for like 3 months. She was in limbo. She was like, "You're gonna play, not play. You're gonna be Kim in Broadway, not be Kim on Broadway." So it was like she was in limbo. So while all of this was happening, she was just in the West End in London playing Kim. And so, yeah, so they made an exception. Since then, she has voiced, I think she's one of the few, if not the only, singers that managed to voice the lead actors for two Disney movies, animated movies. And then she also was the first Asian to play Eponine in Les Miserables. And then she went on to win the Tonys. So she was also the first Asian native, I think first Asian in general, to perform at the Oscars. Maybe no, yeah. Let me say, I think she was the first Asian in general to perform at the Oscars. She was the co-lead. So the Brad Kane, who voiced Mulan, the other guy in Mulan. Was it Mulan? No, it wasn't Mulan. So A Whole New World is what they sang. So the guy there was Brad Kane, and then there were two leads, Brad Kane and then Leia. So she was the first Asian to perform in in the Oscars. So we're very very proud of her, and I think it's long time coming. I think it's she absolutely deserves this star. She should have gotten it a long time ago. Um, so I'm proud of her. So if you can, please check out her performances. Check out her audition piece. It's uploaded in YouTube. The first time she auditioned, she was 17 years old, I think. And she shared a funny story because there was a kissing scene in the play. And according to her, she's never had a boyfriend before. So she didn't know what to do. So, but yeah, she just has a very, very beautiful voice. So if you can, please watch her performances on YouTube. Try to watch like the earlier ones, Mulan and Little Mermaid. Yeah. So if you can, if you can, Little Mermaid, no. So if you can go watch like the early days of her playing Kim, and then Les Mis, and then you can go backwards. So she's, of course, I mean, she's already in her 50s, maybe 40s, late 40s or something like that. So it is expected that the voice would have changed. Still beautiful, but yeah. So very, very proud of her. Congratulations to Leia. I don't know if I can actually get the date as to when it's going to, because they usually deliver a speech, right? So once it is there, they put their hand, they sign it, and then they deliver a speech. I don't know if I can actually get the schedule when it's going to be, but if I can, and if I'm available, I'm going to go there. Even if I'm just a spectator, just to take pictures. I'm just so proud of her. So proud of her as an Asian. She broke a lot of boundaries, and she did it without fanfare. At that time, no one was talking about cultural appropriation or racism, nothing. It was all about her skill. And it was all about the equity, fighting for what they think is right, which again, I would emphasize is they were doing what they were being paid to do by their members. It is, of course, natural for them to try and protect the interest of their members. Had that happened in the Philippines, there is a play in the Philippines. Of course, I would want Filipinos to get the first chance. So they were doing the same thing. Okay, they were doing the same thing. I'm not knocking on them. I'm not saying they were being racist or whatever. It was just the rule. But because of that, then she was able, because of her, then all other art actors that came after her had it easier because she already fought the battle. So I would love, yes, I would love for V to actually do a duet with her. It would be great. I know that she's an army and her bias is actually V. Okay, so if you can, please, Lea Salonga is her name. You will not regret it. I promise. Okay, let's go discuss BTS. Huh? Did you congratulate Cat's Eye for getting number 4 in Billboard chart? I think, yeah, last week. Huh? I haven't. Oh. No, I haven't. I don't think. Yeah. Let me do a special for them. BTS 7 plus 1. Woozy and Hoshi will be starting their military service in September. Ooh, okay. All right. Let's go to BTS. So they are here in, well, RM actually specifically stated LA. So that didn't come from me, that came from him. They are in LA. I don't know exactly where they are. And even if I do, I am not going to tell you. Okay. And also, don't ask me if I saw them or whatever. Remember, this is a huge place. Okay. I go to work every day. At other times, I stay home. So it's not like I'm out and about every day. So I don't think I will see them ever. It's a huge place, very, very big place. Everyone actually drives from one place to another, even if it's just like 5 minutes away because we're lazy people. So there is a very, very small chance, probably like a 1% chance that I will see them. Okay? All right. Don't ask. Okay. But they are in LA because they already announced it. Um, I just answered that question. Okay, so but what is exciting is that they actually are going to do something different. They did announce that they are going to do a song camp. They said that in the Weaver, their very, very first Weavers Live. It's very, very exciting. So there's a lot of great songs that came from a song camp. One of which is Psycho from Red Velvet, because Red Velvet is one of my favorite girl groups, and Psycho is, I would say, probably their third favorite, my third favorite of all of their songs. Number one is Monster, which is Sulgi and Irene. But anyway, so Psycho actually came from a song camp. So there's going to be, so they SM is actually one of the agencies in the whole world that regularly conducts song camps. And so this hit came from that song camp, one of their many song camps. Okay. So this is the song camp of JYP. So this they regularly do this as well. I heard it's usually every 2 months, and they will either do it in the US or in Seoul. And they would bring in like 20, 30 songwriters, and they'll do a song camp. And then the songs will be distributed to the different artists that they have. Okay. I think the only artists of JYP that don't get songs from a song camp is Stray Kids because they do their own. This is another song camp. So there are different song camps, which there are song camps that were organized by a management label, by a management company. And when that happens, most of the time, the songwriters don't really know who will end up using their songs or song. Okay. So there are different ways of doing it. So some like writing studios or writing groups would actually organize a song camp by themselves, come up with like 10, 20, 30 songs, and then they start offering it to different labels. So this is one of those groups that are independent. They come together every 2 months, 3 months, they write, they come up with 10, 20, 30, how many, whatever they can manage, and then they will start offering it to different studios, to different labels. Okay, so this is where is that? Wait, let me find that because there's a lot of good information there because the one of the members of the oh, here, there. Okay. So this is a song camp. This is an independent group. And so they will gather together every now and then. And then, as I've said, they'll write 10, 20, 30 songs. It's going to be a full demo. And they'll start offering it to different management companies. It's very popular even in the US and here as well. This is the song camp that is sponsored by Universal Music Group. I want to say Universal Music Group. Am I right? Yeah, Universal Music Publishing Group. So here, and this is specific, and UMG would do this specifically to write songs and offer it to K-pop management companies. So, and they do this like every month. They would pull 20, 30 writers and do a song camp. So this is one of the writers talking about it. He said, I'm not getting too stressed about bridge lyrics, says Benjamin, which is one of the writers, because there's like 100% chance. Wait, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Oh no. Here. Okay, so yeah, so this is Benjamin, one of the writers who regularly participates in the writing camp, talking about it. He said, I'm not getting too stressed about bridge lyrics, says Benjamin, who's 29 years old, because there's like 100% chance it's going to get translated because, well, they have to translate it because it's okay. Let's make it bigger. Okay, so this is him talking about his experience attending the song camp of Universal Music Group. They know that the punchier the lyrics, the likelier it is that major K-pop labels like HYBE, JYP, and SM Entertainment will pick up their demos for artists to record. The current target is a boy band. Well, this is some time ago. A boy band, where is that? The current target is a boy band on the rise that UMPG knows is looking for its next hit. Although that the track, a swaggering dance tune tentatively titled Glue, may very well go to another of the proliferating K-pop groups. So these are some writers that are just sharing their experience. Do you think this type of camp? Do you think BTS is going to do this type of camp? I thought they were going to do it amongst themselves. I'll discuss that in a bit. I'll get there, but I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a mix of it. And this is just, I'm going to speculate on how they're going to do it. I may be wrong, I may be right. This is another song camp. It's a create music group. They also do the same thing. They would usually come together for a week every quarter, and then they'll come up with songs. All right, and this is the reference. Okay, so the song camp, the practice itself, they said that the origin may be traced back to Miles Copeland, which is the ex-manager of the Police. So the Police themselves wrote their own songs, but they do use other songwriters and producers. But Miles would gather different writers, put them in a castle somewhere in France, stay there for a week, come up with, and then they'll produce songs, and then he will start offering this to different labels, because at that time, well, even to this day, it's very popular for singers to just sing the songs written by other songwriters. So he made his fortune doing that. He will finance the song camp, and then he will be the one that will market it. Okay, so Miles Copeland, the ex-manager of the Police. Some of the biggest hits of these singers came from a song camp. Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and then Britney Spears. If you would remember, there was this huge talk as to whether or not the songs of Justin Bieber are really his. That is the reason, because usually these songs, after they are done, once they leave the song camp, it's already done. All the singer has to do is record it. So it's some sort of a retreat that can span a weekend or a month or even two, with a clear intention of writing and close to finishing a song for an artist, or with a clear concept in mind. It may happen that they don't know who they are writing for, but they already have a concept in mind. They were given a brief. For example, these are the songs that they are looking for. These are the pegs, meaning existing songs that they kind of like and they want to pattern it after these songs. So the songwriters wouldn't really know. They'll probably know the gender, male, female, and then they'll start writing, even though they don't know who that singer is. So, okay. So that's what a song camp is. All right. So in one of the articles, this is this one. The writer of Psycho actually told the story on how he ended up writing the song. So he was invited to Seoul by SM Entertainment. Okay, Drewski is the name of the songwriter. And he said that when he entered, there were like 30 other songwriters and producers in the room. And he didn't know half of them, or many of them, maybe even more than half. He didn't know these people. And so they were given a brief. So these are the songs that they're looking for, and then they were grouped. So they were like three to four in a group, and they were given rooms. And then for the entire day, at the end of the day, their objective is to come up with at least one track. So, and that's how he, along with two other songwriters, ended up writing Psycho. They were like beats first, and then putting other different elements, and then the melody, which they call the top line melodies. They call that, the industry term is top line. Once the top line is there, the songwriter, who also knows how to sing, will start just voicing it. So it's like they're singing the lyrics, but it's not real words. It kind of sounds like a word, but it's not a word. So just because sometimes they don't want to put it. Now, whoever sang the top line ended up saying the line, "You make me feel like a psycho, psycho, psycho." And they were like, "That's it, that's it, that's the title of the song." And so from there they built it. So it was an interesting story, because according to him, that was the very first time he actually met the people that he was writing with. But they were able to create something great for SM Entertainment. As we know, RM actually did a song camp, and he talked about it, where there were like 18 people. They would go to one room. He said it was actually the fifth floor of the HYBE building, and then they would just start writing songs. So he did a song camp as well. Suga also talked about his own song camp, and he did say that like he was really desperate to finish the album, and he decided, okay, we're just going to go to one place and we're going to finish the songs. So he had his own song camp. For all intents and purposes, Jimin also had his own song camp, although it's a mini one, because it was just the four of them constantly being together, writing the lyrics, coming up with the melody. And as we have witnessed, Jimin was actually the beginning and the end of that project. Most of the songs he started and he finished. So for all intents and purposes, it is a song camp, but it's a smaller one. usually song camps are big. Usually, as I've said, 20, 30 people, and then they would break into different groups. So of the BTS members, they are the ones who at least talked about or showed that they had a song camp. I'm not sure with J-Hope if he's going to do one. So the advantages of the right of doing a song camp is that you will at the very least get something done, especially if it is intended for a specific artist like BTS. At the very least, at the end of one day, there's something there, especially if you gather like 30 songwriters, something's bound to come out of it, right? So it's not like you're going to be spending your week going into the studio and just staring at the wall. That's not going to happen because of all the with all the great minds and great talent in one room, something is about to come up. So at the very least, you will get something done. Okay, next is that it can be fluid and faster. As a writer or as a musician, sometimes you just hit a wall and you kind of don't know how to progress. Like you know it's good, but you don't know how to move forward. If there are other great writers there, someone is bound to help you. So that's another advantage for them if they do the same song camp that they're going to. That this format is if they will follow this format. You know, songwriters feed off each other. The talent feed off other talents, and then there is clarity in credits because someone in the song camp is actually there whose sole job is to make sure that whoever contributed to a track will be credited. So there's one person there that's just his focus. I need to make sure that whoever contributed will be credited. So there's a little bit more clarity as to who contributed the most and all of that because everything is going to be recorded. Now, um of course there's going to be disadvantages, right? Nothing, and there's always two sides of a coin. One of the disadvantage is that they will have, for some artists require solitude, and you're just going to have to summon your talents at will. If you're going to go to a song camp, you can't go there and not produce anything. So you're going to have to force your talent to come out when you need it. It is commercialism at its finest. You cannot just allow the natural process of art to take place. No, it will have to come out. Whatever it is that you're hiding, it will have to come out. Okay, so that's kind of an advantage, a disadvantage, whatever, how depending on how you want to look at it. And also, if it is not clear who it is for, then you won't know when you will start earning from it. There are songs, if you go to a song camp, the song that you will produce will be first and foremost for that group. Until they release your song, you can't use it. So if you are like SM, sometimes it takes them like 2 years before they release a specific song. Then you're gonna have to wait for 2 years. And most of the time you actually don't get told when it's going to be released. I think one of the famous singers who talked about it is Ed Sheeran. He said that he gave the song to BTS and it's been like 6 months and he didn't know whether it was going to be used or not. That I think I'm pretty sure he came to one of the talk shows, late night talk shows, and actually said, like, can you tell BTS to tell me whether they're going to be using the song or not? Because he just didn't, he gave the song and that was it. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to wait for you to release the song until I can actually use it. So the waiting game is one of the worst ones. Now, for BTS, this is an entirely new experience for them based on what they've already said to us before. If you would remember, Suga said that we don't write together in one room. If they're, at least not for the most part, they usually would do their own work and then someone is going to put it together. And most of the time, that is P Dog. So he will write his beat, you know, maybe an entire song, give it to P Dog. Maybe P Dog is going to say, okay, the bridge is not working. Can I get another bridge? And someone is going to submit a song, put it together. So someone is actually putting the things that they are creating, putting together the things that they are creating. So if BTS actually does this song camp where every one member is in the room all the time participating in the writing, it's going to be the first one. So when Suga said in the first Weverse live that this is the first time we're going to be doing this together, this is probably part of what he was talking about because they have always been working separately and then someone like P Dog is putting it together for them. You miss the sugar hair. So yeah, so this is the first time we're going to be doing it this way, he said in the Weavers Live. And so that is probably why he said we also don't know how long it's going to take, because this is the first time we're doing it, which is kind of exciting but also scary. Because when you are in a song camp, I thought P Dog quit. No, he hasn't quit. He said that the okay, so if you do this, if they there are different ways on how they can do it. They can summon, they can get like 20, 30 songwriters and do it the traditional way, where they give the artists, the songwriters, a brief. So that means they already know what they're looking for, and they will ask this group, they subdivide them into several groups, and then you come up with a song. Maybe that's one way of doing it. So it's not that it's just the producers and songwriters doing it, they're still there. BTS will still be there. It's just that it will be subdivided into different groups. Okay. Now this is, who was this talking? This is a producer describing the process. Okay. So he said these days, writing a song and recording, it usually happen at the same time. It's all in one session. Before the session starts, there's usually a brief. This is what I was talking about. Basically, a set of the instructions or a goal for the day. For example, let's say the brief is, let's make the next hit for Rihanna. Now imagine 15 people in a house split into 5 rooms. Each room has a small team, maybe a producer. This interview was published here in Ari Steak. Also visit this website because it's really helpful. He interviews like practitioners. So this is Danny Ross, who is a producer and a songwriter, well established in the industry, and he was talking about song camps, what happens in a song camp. And he said that imagine 15 people in one house split into 5 rooms. Each room has a small team, maybe producer, a couple of songwriters, and often those writers are also great singers. Each team starts from scratch. They might use a guitar or piano to write, but more often they build a beat first. They'll listen to reference tracks, lay down drums and bass, and start shaping the song. Next comes the creating the top line. This is the melody and the lyrics and the voice. And so once the song takes shape, one of the writers, usually the one who has the best singing voice, will also be the one singing the guide track. So the vocals. And then the goal is to make that demo sound as polished as possible, because you're essentially pitching it to the artist. In this case, Rihanna, for example, if it is for Rihanna. You're trying to convince her team this should be on her next album. With 5 rooms working at the same time, that could mean 5 songs written in one day. Do this for several days and you walk away with 2025 demos. Then you send those to Rihanna's team and see if she wants to use any of them. That's the starting point of a pop song, how it is actually done today. Okay, now, will BTS be doing it the same way? Most likely. The other option that for them to another route they could take is to schedule different collaborators in different days. So for example, I'm pretty sure, based on what they have done before, the group will already meet as to where the direction is going to go of their album. I don't think they're going to come in to the song camp not absolutely not knowing what kind of song they want or what kind of album they want to release. I think they kind of know already that this is where the direction, or at the very least, before they start that song camp, they will decide on that. So one option would be for them to already decide, like, okay, for this song, let's choose some collaborators, maybe it's going to work. So they can call the collaborators in different days. So different days they will work with different collaborators, and all 7 of them will be there in the studio, whatever, creating the song, or maybe units, or maybe one, two, who knows. So they'll start. Usually this happens when they already have something to start with. Maybe Suga already has a beat, maybe Jimin has a melody, maybe RM has some lyrics, maybe J-Hope has a demo or something like that. We don't know. But usually you choose your collaborator when you already have something to start with, which I think is what is going to happen to BTS. They already have something to start with. So I think BTS, this is speculation. I don't know if this is how they're going to do it, but I do not. I find it hard to believe that they are going to go into a song camp with a totally blank slate. I think there is a brief. They already know what kind of album they want to make, and they kind of know what kind of sound they're gonna go for. And from there, maybe some of them already has a melody, a beat, a demo, some lyrics, some lines, some concepts. They're going to put it together and decide who it is that they want to collaborate with. As we know, HYBE has always been very, very picky who the kind of producers that they will be working with. They don't allow BTS to work with just any kind of producer. It always has to be a Grammy winning producer, the number one Billboard Hot 100 producer and songwriter. And I think that will still be a part of it. It is not going to be hard for BTS to look for a collaborator because everyone wants to collaborate with them. So I think it's just going to be a matter of determining, okay, we have this concept, who among all these great producers and songwriters that we have, who it is that we're going to be working with. Okay. The other option though is that they do it themselves end to end, which would be great. If they can do it that way, it would be great. And I would love it if they can do it that way. Um, so there is also that possibility. There's that possibility where they will sit down and discuss the concepts, discuss the tracks, discuss the kind of sound that they're going for, and then write all together or maybe individually and then come together, and then it's going to be P Dog that will be putting it together for them, or maybe Suga, or maybe it's also collaborative. But there is that possibility as well. Nobody else but them. And I think it's kind of, if they decide to do it that way, I think it'll be kind of poetic, and I will absolutely understand why they will actually choose it that way. Okay, where were we? Not that. Here. Oh, here. Okay. So those are the different ways. Those are the different directions they're going to be taking, I think. But just personally knowing where they are coming from, knowing what they have already been able to accomplish, I do think that they will call for a more equal participation among members. I think at this stage, because of everything that they have achieved as a group and as individuals, I think there's a bit more confidence from the other members of the group to be more proactive in writing the songs, in producing the songs. So I feel like even if they end up working with other producers, I think at the heart of it will still be their beats, it will still be their melodies. Maybe they're just going to be asking other producers for certain elements, but I think it will be them in the center. Okay. I would be happy if Sugar produces it. I will be happy too. Or at least P Dog, you know. It is not true that P Dog left, by the way. He's still there. The only other thing is that if there is an equal participation among members, then of course it's also natural for them to feel that what they have come to be comfortable with, the process that they are used to, is kind of being challenged, right? Because whether we like it or not, the first chapter has been predominantly, really, in terms of production and songwriting, it has been driven by the rap line. But I think because of the experience of the vocal line, maybe they'll feel more comfortable participating in the production, and so that'll feel a little challenging because there's a restructuring of the process in a good way, of course. Okay. um Another advantage if they start working with other producers is that they will start getting connected with different industry professionals, different musicians, guitarists, piano, whatever, different experts that they will most likely be able to use in the future for other projects and also for their solo songs. So if they, for example, decide to work with other songwriters or other producers, I don't think it's totally bad, because it's going to contribute to their future, whether as a group or as solo artists. So it'll still be good. Okay, so before we get into that question, just want to emphasize. I do think that this songwriting camp, will still be centered on BTS. It will be their concepts, it will be their ideas. And I am fully convinced that there will be some songs at the very least that will be totally produced and written by BTS with no other producers and songwriters. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start working with other producers. I think um, having different influences of different sounds would be good for their growth. So I think that's where they're gonna go. I am excited. I would pay to be a wallpaper in their, in their songwriting camp. I promise to shut up, not move, not say anything, and just observe. I would be happy to be a wallpaper when they do their songwriting camp. But I am very, very excited that they're actually going to be doing it for the first time. They're actually going to be staying in one room and coming together and work on their album and write their songs together. I'm also extremely proud of how far the vocal line has come, coming from very, compared to like their discography, they had minimal participation or minimal credits at the very least. They probably were participating, but they weren't getting a lot of credits compared to the rap line. So I'm proud of how far they have come. And I am, yeah, so just I'm looking forward to that. I was saying I hope they film it for a documentary. I would be happy to film for free. I promise. I will tell them, look, to this day, I have not disclosed where I actually saw J Hope. I can keep a secret. I haven't shown anybody my picture with J Hope. J Hope, I can keep a secret. I'll take this to my grave. But yeah, I'm sure they will not want me there. um, okay. Uh, I'm excited for all of them. RM had a very good experience working with other writers. I think he wants to relinquish some of the responsibility onto others. Maybe, yeah. Um, I'm so happy they will be together and connecting through music. Hoping for Cypher 5 track. I'm sure we will get to see a little of BTS of the songwriting process eventually. I'm sure. I think you'd be too busy staring. I can no, I can focus if I want to focus, and I can also shut up. As I've said, to this day I haven't disclosed where I met J Hope, what I was doing in that place. I can keep a secret. I can take this to my grave. Whatever I hear, I will take it to my grave. I promise. Where do you think? Where do you think they'll work? What part of the world? I think some parts, definitely a huge part of it will be LA, and I think there will be some in New York as well. But I think the majority of the song camp will happen in LA, and that's what they said anyway. So yeah, so I think majority of that will be LA, but I do think that they will travel to, I think they will be working with some musicians that will require you to travel to them for whatever reason that may be. Maybe if you work like, because I remember like for Sakamoto, when Suga actually worked with him, he had to travel to Japan just to meet Sakamoto, right? Ryuichi Sakamoto. So I think it's because of his health. His health was already failing at that time. So it can be something like that, where they tap into, they want to work with a certain producer or a certain whatever, and they're just, that person simply cannot travel, so it will be them traveling to them. So I mean, had Sakamoto still been alive, I would love for the BTS, for the entire group to actually work with him, because he's such a great songwriter. There are some like Asian bands that I want them to work with, some African bands that I want to work, some African musicians that I want them to work with. It's just, there's so many musicians they can work with that will not take away from their creativity and creative control, right? I don't think that they have to resort to actually go into a studio and then just let the songwriter write. I don't think that's ever going to happen with BTS. That's not going to happen. Mary Gam, could you talk about the effect, if only BTS, if any, on BTS of the new 25% tariffs on Korea by Trump? How will that affect BTS? The 25% tariff? That's primarily products. That will be applied to products. So, and thank you for your super thanks. You want me to talk about it now? Maybe in another presentation. But briefly, that will be applied to products. So, if there's any, and it's usually, it depends on where it is manufactured, right? So even if, for this is just an example, if BTS manufactures their goods here in the US, then even if they are Koreans, that is being managed by a Korean company, they will not get tariffed because it was produced in the US. So if the goods are produced in South Korea, that's going to get tariffed. It is, if it is produced in China, that will also get tariffed higher because the, oh, I don't know if he's already signed a deal with China. So that's what happens. Yeah, so that's essentially it. If it is produced in South Korea, it'll get tariff once it comes back to the US. Um, that is the effect. But in terms of like their fee, no. The South Korea and the and US has a bilateral agreement. So it prevents artists, Korean artists who are earning in the US, to pay their taxes twice. So if they pay their taxes here in the US, then they don't have to pay their taxes in South Korea. But that has complications. Okay, so like for example, if they worked in California, they will still have to pay state tax in California, but they won't have to pay the federal tax because of the bilateral agreement. If it's confusing you, I can do another explanation, but briefly, that's how it's going to affect them. P Dog is not exclusive for TXT. During BTS military service, he was heavily involved with TXT, but now he can also support work with BTS. Yeah, I think the focus, the main producer of TXT is Low Rabbit. That's what, in the latest article about, I think they interviewed different producers in of HYBE, and Slow Rabbit was now officially assigned as the main producer um, of TXT, and then P Dog remains to be with BTS. And I think P Dog has gotten to a point. I think eventually P Dog is going to move up the ladder, especially because my I think what's going to happen is after this comeback, this group comeback, BTS will go their separate ways. Not not like break up, but I mean do their solo activities again. And some of the members will opt to work with other producers. And so and some of them will want to work with P Dog. So that's going to give P Dog some more time to do other things. So I think he might start producing for other HYBE artists, or he may be assigned a higher role in HYBE. It's about time anyway. So no, P Dog did not leave Big Hit. He's still there. He certainly haven't left BTS. It's just that he hasn't been needed in the last several years because BTS has not been recording their own songs. So if you read the article, the interview that they did with the producers of HYBE and Big Hit, that's where they actually stated who they are producing for. And it doesn't mean that they cannot produce for other groups. It's just that they are the main one assigned to a specific group. Okay. Fairlane, I feel Suga would have some real strong lyrics in Cypher's song. I think Cypher's is going to be forever the rap line song. I wouldn't be surprised if HYBE Weaver sets up a manufacturing of some things in the US. They tariff us. So I was really surprised when he did it because they've been tariffing us for a really long time. And we also provide them military support. So it's kind of, I kind of feel like come on, work with us. Like we're already selling your products here without tariff. Allow us to sell our products there without tariff. Not a lot to ask, given that we're providing the military support. But that is just just from my perspective, given the economic effects of what's Warren. That's the point of tariff. Miss Kim said Warren. Warren. That's the point of tariff. JJ and James are different trainees. Yes, they are different trainees. Please, no politics. This is just not the forum for it. P Dog already worked on some of the member solo project. It is okay to branch out sometimes, even though I love P Dog. I don't think that was never in that article, because the thing is that we always have to rely on their official statement, right? We can't just speculate based on what we think is happening. We have to rely on their official statement. And based on that last official statement in that interview, it was very clear P Dog was still very much assigned to BTS. And it's just that it so happened that they were on a break because they are serving the military, and some of the members decided to work with other producers. Some of the members, just like Jimin, decided to work with P Dog. Of course, that leaves him more time to do other things. But I think now that BTS is back, whether or not he's actually going to be sitting down and being in his computer and actually technically putting everything together, it doesn't matter. I think he will still be in charge of making sure that BTS is getting the kind of support that they need. Okay. Um, Fairly, I miss you too. Share your love. Don't, it's okay. You have to live your life. That's what I read as well. Slow Rabbit, now main producer of. Yeah, just look for that article of HYBE producers. That's where they actually kind of announced. Slow Rabbit has been with TXT for a long time. Slow Rabbit is cool one too. P Dog is overseeing the new group under Big Hit, making their debut soon. Okay, I Google search and gave those four names. He worked with Jin on his album as well. Well, there you go. Okay, I came late to this chat. Okay, I have one more topic. Do you have any more questions on this before we go? Oh, yeah. So someone sent me this question. Why are other members not doing any kind of brand activity? Like, for example, Jungkook, why hasn't he done any kind of project with CK? Like, someone actually wrote me a long letter, hate letter, saying that Big Hit has failed to secure any kind of brand deal and blah blah blah. Whatever. They're useless, and Jungkook should leave Big Hit and whatever. And then someone like another fan of another member, whatever. So there's a lot of hate letters going, but also there's a lot of hate messages that are being posted on different social media like X, Facebook, or whatever. As this is their main contention, like, why aren't they doing 7 different brand endorsements right now? They have the time to do it. Okay, so the answer to that question is we don't know. Right? We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what kind of brand deals they're cooking. We don't know. Maybe they were invited to all these fashion shows and they just declined. Maybe it was not the right timing. Maybe they weren't. We don't know. So given that, let's not speculate what it is that is happening. One thing we know for sure, though, is that brands are actually dying to work with them. We know that for sure, right? So if they are not doing anything at this moment, there must be a reason. It may be because they are finalizing the details. It may be because they just want to concentrate on the album. Maybe because they are attending some personal affairs. They all have their own businesses. I know Jin is the only one who has been public about his own business and his own company. It doesn't mean the other members don't have their own businesses, like personal businesses and investments. Okay. Um, so can we just wait what it is that they're going to be doing before we actually judge everybody for BTS not being pulled into 7,000 different direction 25 days after their release? Okay. So that is really the short answer, and that's really the only proper answer that we should be getting from anybody. We don't know. Let's wait. We know that brands want to work with them, but we also know that BTS has the habit of working in their own cadence. Jungkook, for example, he was like being offered by 3 other brands, like fashion luxury brands, and he declined all of them and decided to work with CK. And it was his own decision. All the offers were there in the table, and he did not work. He did not accept any of that. So let's just wait what it is that they're going to be doing. Jin, when he had the time, because he was the one who first completed his military service, actually had the luxury of time, and so he was able to work with what, 7 brands right away. So we know it's happening. We just need to trust them and let them work in their own cadence. Let them do what it is that they want to do, and let's just wait. Okay? But it's very funny. Like every member, so I get hate messages and hate mails from every solo member, and each solo fan, toxic fan, would present a case as to why their favorite is the one that is being mistreated by Big Hit. If you listen to these people, you would think that Big Hit is such a horrible management company, and then come to think, like, if it's such a horrible management company, why are the boys who are so smart staying in this company? It's just, it is so unreasonable. Okay. JK wanted the lifetime supply of CK underwear. I know. That live stream when he was folding his underwear, that was still, it's still in my head. Now I do know that Jungkook specifically said that he only wants to work with brands that he actually like really constantly support. And so for, I think for him it's like, well, I wear CK every day, so this is the brand that I'm going to be endorsing. Um Okay, so yes, Jimin is signed to yes, he's still with Dior. So that he's still very open about. Miss Fairlane, did I just get scolded? No. Who scolded you? Toxic solos go away. BTS don't do anything else every time they work on music. JK solo fans are against BTS, so they want JK out to break BTS. BTS is OT7. Oh, I saw the track. The no, the truck, the protest truck that Jungkook solos actually sent to Big Hit. And in that truck, they actually demanded that Jungkook do a solo tour. Okay. They plea. All right. Any other question before I go to my next topic? The answer to the brand deal question is Nanya. Yeah, it's none of your business. Nanya, in that it's none of anyone's business. For all we know, BTS has plenty of brands in the pipeline that just the guys are considering. Yeah, we just need to trust them. Come on. I mean, number one, it's not like they're dying to work with anybody. They have enough money they can never spend, they can never hope to spend in their lifetime. I mean, sometimes the boys would actually drop hints as to how much money they have. I mean, not the exact amount, but you can kinda see if, like, for Suga to actually be a significant partner in a fund. That's what he got. Like, he became a partner of a fund that invested in this MLB team. For him to have a significant share in that, how much money do you have? Right? So you can kind of just get clues from that. So it's not like they're dying to be a partner, to be a brand ambassador of any brand. They don't need it. The solos must be having acid indigestion about Jimin and Jungkook holding hands. Probably. Everything is a huge thing for them. I mean, I don't understand. Like, we see how affectionate Jungkook is to everybody, not just to Jimin. He's so affectionate to J-Hope. I mean, that specific time when he sat on Jungkook in J-Hope's lap, and he embraced from the front, right? And no one said anything. They weren't like, oh, this must be fan service. No one said anything. And it was so intimate. But because we know they're friends, and we know that Jungkook by nature is very, very affectionate, I do not understand why people are making a big deal out of this. They're close friends. He's the Macne, you know. So okay. Um, do you know what event Anna Wintour of Vogue? Yes, in October. Yes, I'll show you the article. It's Hollywood event. It was so funny because um, when I told some of my friends who are stylists, like professional stylists and makeup artists in Hollywood, they were all so shocked. They were like, "What? Anna Wintour personally invited him?" I was like, "Yeah, very, very casually." Okay, let me see here. Maybe share this one. Okay. So Hollywood, Vogue World, it's going to be in Hollywood and it's going to be October. So if you go to Vogue, oh, you can just search Vogue World 2025 there. So it's going to be uh it's like the all the brands, all luxury brands will be there, and all the major uh supermodels, they will be there. So for him, for Anna Wintour to actually personally invite him, that's a big deal. I mean, you can see, if you actually observe people during a fashion week, you can see how many are trying to get her attention, right? But she personally invited V. That's a big deal. All of these people trying to get her attention, and she asked V to come. So all right, let's go to big hit. Should we? Well, sort of. Big hit. Well, it's actually Hybe and Bang Shiuk. So I think last week, they published Mnet published an article stating that Bang Shiuk and Hybe was actually raided. So after two denials for a search warrant, the third request was finally granted, and they actually raided Hybe. So they published that article, and then less than 2 hours, they actually deleted that article. Hence, you will not be able to find it anymore. Now, when I posted it in Patreon and on X, I actually posted the link. So luckily, I still have that link. That's why we can see that it was deleted. So in that article, they actually said that Hybe was raided by the police after prosecutors twice rejected warrants. The investigation targets Chairman Bang Shiuk, who allegedly received 400 billion Korean won through a secret profit-sharing deal. So this is the old case that was already dismissed, and Hybe was already proven innocent. They're trying to bring it back, so they are trying to keep on asking for a warrant, of a search warrant. Okay, so that's the gist of the entire thing, that he's in trouble, that he's probably going to be sued or whatever. Okay, so that's the TLDR. Too long, didn't read. And then, of course, there were many, many accounts on Twitter, on X, on Facebook, on other social media who jumped on it. And one of which is the very, very devoted fan site of New Jeans, saying Chairman Bang Shiuk is risking life in prison for fraudulent activities after officials finally raided Hybe earlier today. Unlike Mnet, this group, this social media account has not deleted their story and their posts. Okay. So they posted again, still about the same story. The financial supervisory service has decided to refer Bang Chiyuk for the prosecution after corrupting their investigation. So it's still the same thing. They're claiming that Hybe was raided. So this account has not taken down their tweet, and this publication has not deleted their article. So this is their article. Financial Supervisor Service begins sanctioning procedures for Bang Shiuk, chairman of Hybe, for fraudulent illegal activities. So all of that fake news. No raid happened. There was another group that was raided, but it wasn't them. Okay. Um, Now, the other thing that they keep on making it appear as if Bang Shiuk is disrespecting the court is in relation to the stock price manipulation. If you would remember, Hybe is actually suing Kakao for manipulating the stock price of SM Entertainment when they were competing against Kakao to get majority share of SM Entertainment. And so they were able to prove that Kakao indeed, okay, so they have enough proof to actually indict Kakao. Now, the the defense is actually calling him as a witness, which is Bang Shiyuk. They want Bang Shiyuk to appear as a witness, and he keeps on saying no. So of course there are procedures to this. You can't just not appear. So you need to provide reason, blah blah blah, and that's what you pay your lawyers for. If you don't want to appear personally in court, that is a right that you have, and that is a right that you are bestowed, and you can use that right anytime. So if you are in any kind of a legal trouble, you don't want to appear in court, you just tell your lawyer, and your lawyer will say, "Yeah, okay, you can't, you don't have to attend." Or your lawyers say, "We don't have a choice, you have to attend." Or they say, "Okay, you don't have to, but probably you should." In this case, he doesn't feel that, neither him nor his lawyer feel that he should attend the trial, and so he hasn't been attending the trial. So it's just their lawyers representing HYBE. Now, because many of these accounts, specifically fans of New Jeans, solo fans of toxic fans of New Jeans, they really don't know the law, so they make it appear as if that Bang Shiyuk is doing something illegal. He's not doing anything illegal. When he doesn't appear in court, everything is taken care of, and the court knows that he is not going to appear, and he was allowed to not appear. All right. So no issue about him not appearing in court. Okay, next. So this is the article discussing about him not appearing in court. Chairman Bang repeatedly submitted a reason for not being present to the prosecutor's witness summons. So they're just yeah, they were sort of just saying like, oh, he keeps on giving these excuses and whatever. The court has to accept your reason for not attending. And then they keep on blaming him for this. They're saying that it was you who sued Kakao, and now you don't want to appear in court. Well, again, that is my right. I can sue anybody and not appear in court. Okay. Now, what happened was that it was actually the reverse. So, if what happened was that the prosecutor ended up investigating writers, journalists from South Korea, because apparently there is a pattern. They would buy stocks, write something good about that stock, so the stock will, about that company, and so the stock will actually go up, and then they'll sell. So they will sell at a profit. So it didn't happen just once, twice, three times, five, 10 times. It has happened so many times in the last several years. So what they're happening is that they're actually manipulating the market, the stock price, so that they can profit. It can also be the other way around. They'll say something bad about a company, so the stock price is going to go down, they'll buy. And then once things improve, then they'll sell. In either case, they actually earn. So that is what the prosecutor is trying to prove. So they're investigating about 30 reporters who have been doing this for years, not just months, not just weeks, but they've been doing this for years. So I'm beginning to think that there is too many, not all, but many journalists in South Korea don't follow the code of ethics of journalism. Okay, so about 20 former and current reporters are under investigation by financial authorities. They are accused of first buying stocks, writing an article, and then selling them for profit using internal corporate information they learned after reporting. You cannot do that. Okay. Now, we do know that HYBE has been continuously suing people, and they've been suing people in South Korea and also in the US. The latest news that we got is in relation to 17. They actually apply for discovery in US court, meaning they are requesting the court to allow them to get information about certain people. So we know we know that they haven't stopped, that they continuously gather evidence, and then once they have enough, they will sue. So I am fully convinced that all of these journalists that are trying to manipulate public opinion, distributing misinformation about Hybe, Bang Shiyuk, and BTS, they will have their day in court. My gut feel is that Hybe actually wants the major case to finish first. Once that is done, then they will go after these reporters and after this social media influencers or these accounts. I think they want Bang Shiyuk to be they want to prove that Kakao actually manipulated stock prices. Once they are able to prove that, they're gonna go after these reporters and social media accounts. I think that's what they're just trying to clear, and that shouldn't take long. When I say that shouldn't take long, maybe 2 years, not months, but at least it's not going to take like 10. I think after that, once they are done with this case against Kakao, they're going to go after all of these influencers. So the only thing that can help is for you to actually submit to them screen caps whenever you see any kind of malicious reports against BTS, especially, but also against other people. There is a specific account in on X that that is actually pro BTS, but this account shades everybody else. I don't think that's nice either. Just because you like BTS doesn't save you from the fact that you can still get sued. So people just simply has to be decent about what they are writing. So go ahead, if you have the time, just do a screen cap. And when you do a screen cap, you have to screen cap the entire screen, and that should include the date of, because your screen usually has the date on either the lower part or the top part, right? Remember, depending on the brand of your computer. So when you actually screen cap, you have to include that. They want the entire screen, not just the portion that contains the malicious article or malicious statement. It has to be the entire screen. And then you just go to bighit.com or something like that. So, but that is the best way you can help. Um, okay. So that, and then someone actually told me something interesting about Bang Shiyuk and BTS, because I was like talking with one of my friends who's a Korean native, and I was asking them about how come there's so many Koreans who hate BTS. And it was an interesting discussion because he explained to me their the Confucianism influence in their culture. So they feel that when a poor person like BTS, for example, or Bang Shiyuk goes up the ladder, and especially if it does not involve education, like going to school, getting high grades, going up the corporate ladder, for them it is actually a betrayal, because it feels like we should all be in this together. We should be miserable together. So that is just part of the culture. Because you left us behind, then we hate you because you betrayed us. And then the other thing is, so it's Confucian values. That is the primary reason. Uh, we should all be poor together, is what they're kind of saying. Okay, and then the other thing is the collectivism versus individualism, because Korea is very like a social, they put a lot of importance on the society more than the individual needs. So if you are a poor person, they expect that once you are going up, you bring everybody else with them. You shouldn't be going up all by yourself. So when it's only you that succeeds, they feel that you're being selfish. So that is for them also a betrayal. And then, of course, there's just jealousy and competitive social dynamics, because South Koreans, apparently, they're very, very competitive. That is why they're very particular about their looks, because they like looking better than everybody else. They compete in every level. They compete in, which is kind of like an Asian thing. So they want their children to be better than the children of the neighbors. They want to look better. They want to be thinner. They want to be more fashionable. And they are very much particular about their outer look, because that is the physical look, because that is the most visible. So it's a competition for them. So if I don't become as successful as you are, then I lose. However, he did say something, and he said, because we were talking about this and he was trying to explain all the points to me. he did say that it is not true. Even in South Korea, he said, those who hate BTS and those who don't objectively think they should have gotten an exemption in the military and other privileges is a minority. And this is a local. And I mean, he lives in South Korea. He's saying that whatever you hear and whatever you see on TV about BTS doing this, BTS doing that, they should serve, they should blah, 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 and they're not good people, Bang Shiuk should be taken down or whatever. He's saying that's a minority. It's just that they are the louder minority because those people that are they actually appreciate BTS. They acknowledge how much of a help BTS has been in elevating the image, the soft power of South Korea. They're mostly silent. So he was very very clear on this aspect that no, South Koreans, the majority of it, we do not hate BTS, we do not hate Bang Shiok. Many of the people that are talking on Twitter, on Panchoa, different forums, they're either paid or they are the loud majority. But he said, don't ever think that South Korea hates BTS and hates Bang Shiuk. That is not true. So wait, is this an interview? I so he agreed to be interviewed. I will be interviewing him. It's he's scheduled 2 weeks before. Sorry, 2 weeks from now. So most likely it will air August. Yeah, August. 2 weeks from now, and then it'll take about 2 weeks before it's published. So you will see this. But it's so enlightening because he was like very adamant. He said, no. Like if you go walk around South Korea and you ask them, you ask local South Koreans, should they have gotten a military exemption? All of them will say, like not all of them, but a lot of them will say, especially in the country, like in the rural areas, he said, go around, ask them, should they have gotten a military exemption? Everyone will say, of course, they should have gotten a military exemption. So he said that majority of the people that are, especially in Facebook and on X, either they are not actually Koreans or they are just the loud minority. So he said, don't ever think that we're just jealous or we hate them. They said we don't. We have nothing but appreciation for BTS and for Bang Shiok. All of these things that you're hearing, it does not represent Koreans. So if you're starting to hate Koreans for this and for that, don't. They're just the loud minority. In all fairness to Koreans, give them a break and give them a chance. And I can attest to that because in the last time that I traveled in South Korea, and we actually went to Daegu, we went to Busan, and we stopped over several other provinces, and I was talking with some locals, and yeah, they're all very very appreciative of BTS and very very upset at the military for requiring them to serve, because they all feel that their life was getting better because of BTS. So what do people think now that that they've served in the military? All of my friends, my Korean community here and Korean community in South Korea, all of them are saying that if BTS served, everyone should serve. It's kind of odd, right? Because I know that a lot of people were trying to get them to not serve because we want their idols, their biases to actually not serve. So, but it worked the other way totally. Now they're saying that if BTS actually serve, then everyone should serve. Because if you can't exempt like somebody like BTS, then nobody can be exempted. Because and for them, even to my friends, they were and these are not BTS fans, by the way. They're not BTS fans. A lot of them are saying like, even if you are an Olympic gold medalist, there is absolutely no way in hell you can contribute 3% to the GDP of South Korea. Just that's not gonna happen. Only BTS has been able to do that. And if there's anybody who deserved that exemption, it would be them. If they didn't get it, no one should get it. Isn't that odd? It's such a different perspective because everyone, like day in and day out, we hear about South Koreans saying this, that they shouldn't get exemption, that they should be sued, that it is unfair. And then you have an actual local talking about how Koreans feel about BTS. And they're all saying we love them. So even this like drive and this petition to not allow Suga to appear in any kind of Korean show, I asked him about it and I was like, are they insane? Who are these people that are doing this petition? Do they even have a brain? So yeah, but glad that he agreed to be interviewed. He's a sociologist. So yes, 2 weeks from now, we're just ironing out the time when we'll actually do the interview, and I'll do that. Okay, I 100% agree. No, and no any other excuse now for other idols to be exempted. My reasoning for them not to serve is because they have done a lot for their country and they did not choose that. I think that no one should serve first. As a violinist, the orchestra player should not be exempted either. Online tools are only online tools. The media pushing their own agenda, just like here. They're all K media patrons. Yeah. So it's just, I thought after that conversation with him, by the way, he's not like a super close friend of mine. I found him because I was looking for somebody to interview in South Korea. And so it was just a refreshing perspective because I always hear about the hate, this forum posts about this and that. And for a local, for an actual Korean in the country who's not even a fan of BTS to say, no, they absolutely should have gotten an exemption and they should actually get special treatment. Because if you have businessmen, the children of businessmen of Samsung, of Shinsegae, getting special treatment when they have not contributed anything, then they should give that to BTS because BTS was actually contributing something. Kind of makes sense, right? Okay. The vocal minority seldom represents anyone but themselves. Correct. So don't listen to the very, very loud minority. I always say, so from here, whenever you hear about something about BTS being hated and this and that, try to search for the other side and you will be surprised just how stronger that is. It's just that they are not vocal. Okay, so we are over time. So 2 hours and 10 minutes. I saw supposedly one more topic, which is about the Apple Music. I actually went down. Do you know who has the most entries in Apple Music most streamed songs? Take a guess. So I'll do a presentation next time. I actually went. So I tracked the genre of each song, so what genre is dominant, who has the most entries in top 100 of Apple Music most streamed song in the last 10 years, and other information. We'll just do a deeper dive into the chart, and then we'll pick up like some lessons that we can learn from this. But I'm very happy that BTS actually ended up in the top 50. Bellatrix, Drake. Yes, Drake. No one's even close. No one's even close. Like yeah, no one's close. Yeah, so it's Drake. Baby Shark was there. Yes, Baby Shark was there, but not close to top 100. Um, so glad is weird. No, Drake is number one, and then we'll go through the top 10, the ones that have the most entries. In the top 10, we'll go through the genres, like and also the labels of these people, whether they are independent. Who is the independent artist who has the highest entry? Not surprising, it's BTS, but we'll go through all of that. Okay. Thank you very much, and just send me your requests. Drake is an annoying answer. Send me your requests. If you have any topic that you want me to discuss, we'll discuss it, and I'll see you Wednesday. And okay, thank you. Bye.